Previously on One Life to Live.
You've got to come to Landview, Daddy. They're saying I'm not your daughter.
Her blood alcohol level was extremely high. She may not make it.
I didn't shoot anybody.
Yes, you did. You shot Max.
No!
Who is my son?
I am. Oh, if he dies, you murdered him.
You can do it. I thought you told me you were the girl from the Titanic, huh? The one who did whatever she wanted, never took no for an answer. The one who survives. Jen? Get away from her. I tried calling your parents. Couldn't get in touch with either one of them.
What happened to her?
Dr. Wallach says it's alcohol poisoning. She drank at least a pint.
What? What did you do to her? What did you do?
I didn't do anything to her. Oh, we found her passed out in the park.
Oh, so when you serve her alcohol, then you take her out there?
As usual. You have it all wrong.
Guys, come on. We're in a hospital. The last thing we should be doing is fighting. It's not helping Jen. Come on.
Hey, kiddo. Hey. You'll be okay, all right? I'm here now. I'm not gonna let anyone hurt you anymore.
Oh, Daddy, I knew you'd come.
It's gonna be all right now, sweetheart. All right.
You know you're the only one who can make it all right. The only one who can stop Ray Cummings from spreading that ridiculous lie of hers.
Ray Cummings?
That woman's got the crazy idea that I'm her daughter. Oh, my darling girl. Oh, my darling, come on. Tell me what on earth happened.
Well, for some sick reason, Todd Manning, the one I told you about, decided to blow up his whole wedding with a series of bombshells about people in this town, including me and the fact that Sky is my daughter.
Was Sky there?
Oh, yes. She didn't believe it, and of course she wants nothing to do with me. I really did not think it was possible that she could hate me more today than she did before. What do I do? I mean, do I just walk away as though this never happened?
Nonsense. You pull yourself together, and then you start thinking like Myrtle Fargate's daughter, and then you and I are going to figure out what to do next.
BP's 80 over 60, pulse 60, respirations 26. All right, let me have a 12-lead EKG and a portable chest x-ray.
Here's the nitro.
Okay, thanks. Asa, can you hear me? It's Larry Wolin. You're in the hospital. Renee's here.
And I'm not leaving, darling. He had a shock, Larry. He had news that was too much for him.
Asa, can you open your eyes? Right, that's it. Good. Good.
You're going to be all right.
Okay, Renee, please, you're going to have to stand back. Can you tell me your name? Asa, are you in pain? Where is the pain? Is it in your chest? How bad is it on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, all right. I'm going to give you nitroglycerin. Open your mouth. Right under the tongue. That's it. Okay, I want a nitro drip. Aspirin 325, 2 milligrams morphine IV, nitro paste 1 inch. What is it? What are you trying to tell me? Is it about the pain? sounds like something like saying my son over and over again.
You understand these rights as I've explained them to you?
My Miranda rights? I made your case for you. I told you that Blair shot Max. And for this, I get my Miranda rights? I made your decade. I told you that Max was conning your old man, milking him for millions. And for this, you arrest me.
Manning, you confessed to several crimes this evening. Unsworn falsification to law enforcement authorities, tampering with evidence, hindering apprehension.
What are you going to arrest Max and Blair for? Loitering?
Blair, we're going to have to take you in for questioning.
Come on, Sam, let's go.
I don't think so, Todd. You just about ruined my brother's life. And for what reason? Because you could?
I told the truth. That's what you're always telling me to do, tell the truth. Now, you're my lawyer, defend me.
No, I'm not your lawyer anymore. You're on your own, pal.
What about me, Sam?
Don't worry, Blair. I'll do whatever I have to protect you.
Don't turn your back on her, Sam.
Oh, shut up, Todd.
Why did you do this today? Can you tell me what happened?
I couldn't do it, Vicky. I couldn't put the pieces back together after the trust was broken.
What? What are you talking about? What trust thing that was broken? Answer me, Todd. What trust thing got broken that made you do this?
He did it because he could. And if Pa dies, he's guilty of murder.
Which Pa would that be, Max? The one you were conning?
Take it easy, Max.
I'm out of here.
Max, we're not through yet.
I'm going to the hospital, see how Pa is.
No, you keep away from my father. Max Holland, I'm taking you in for questioning in the matter of defrauding Asa Buchanan.
Sounds like I'm going to need a lawyer. No, are you available?
Not until they drop the charges against my client, Sky. I don't think I could defend the man she's accused of shooting.
John? Yeah. Could you get Todd and Blair and Max down to the station? I'm going to go see my father, and I'll catch up with you as fast as I can. Right.
I'm gonna go with Blair, okay?
Okay. Let's go, Manning. Come on, Blair. Let's go.
Todd.
Well, it's a freak show. Todd was in rare form, even for him.
Look, Kevin, there were reasons why I didn't...
You don't have to say a word to me. I get you. Ace is my grandfather, but I know the man. Anyway, I gotta go write a story on all this. I'm gonna try and keep it low-key. You okay?
I'm fine, honey. Go ahead.
Okay, see you.
Thank you.
Look, I just have to say that I had absolutely no idea that Todd knew the truth, and I'm sorry.
Sam, you never have to apologize. You're my brother.
Yes, I am.
I knew it. I knew the moment that I'd have to tell Renee that she's my mother, that things would change. And they did. Now it's real. I'm Ace's son.
Bradycardia rate 38, BP's dropping.
All right, amphobatropine. Watch his rhythm. Can you feel a pulse?
God, please don't let him die.
Ray Cummings hates me. Thinks she hated me the moment she laid eyes on me. Her goal in life is to make my life as miserable as possible.
By claiming to be your mother?
What could be worse than that? Tell me, not to be a Chandler, not to be your daughter.
I know, but do you think she made this whole thing up just to hurt you?
Oh, she has this neurotic obsession about some child that she says was taken away from her when she was a teenager. She's been waving around this page from a Bible that some doctor had. It's supposed to say I'm her kid. And then she said her ex-husband, Daniel Faulkner, had this page all along, was keeping it from her to torment her. Oh, and did I mention she's a little paranoid, too?
I met Ray Cummings when she came to Pine Valley to look for Daniel Faulkner. But I had no idea she was really searching for her own child.
You know, when I was arrested for shooting Max, she would actually show up at my jail cell and try to bait me. Daddy, I needed you so badly.
Oh, honey, I put Barry in charge. I told him to get you the best legal talent.
It wasn't the same thing. Daddy, I want to come home to Pine Valley with you. I mean, I think the DA in Landview here will have to drop all the charges against me now.
Are you sure this Manning guy's story will hold up?
Yeah, I think it's all over except for the paperwork. And I really need to be with my family, you know, with you and Uncle Stuart and Haley. I promise I will try to get along with her. Now, just please take me back with you.
Honey, I'm sorry. I can't do that.
Why not? You're my father. Why can't I come home with you?
Dr. Wallach says that it's lucky that we got her here as fast as we did.
You saved her life.
This belongs to the patient, so I can either lock it up or someone can sign for it.
I'll sign for it.
You know, you don't need to hang around, Chris. I know you saved her life and all, but I gotta wonder if she would have needed saving if she hadn't been hanging out with you.
I wasn't hanging out with your sister. I wasn't even with her.
Oh, really? Then how'd she get a hold of the alcohol? Because she's only 18. You know, unless you gave her a bottle from RJ stock.
I wouldn't do that.
I know how she got it, guys. This says she's 22.
How would Jen get a fake ID?
Hey. Hey, Larry, how is he? Is this another heart attack?
We got a lot of tests to run yet, but right now it appears that his heart isn't pumping the way it should. It's enlarged, probably from overwork.
This condition didn't happen overnight, though, did it?
Probably since the surgery.
You mean he's been walking around with this? Why wasn't this diagnosed before?
Well, he hasn't kept any of the appointments we've set up.
He swore to me that he was getting regular treatments.
Can I see him?
Yeah, briefly, but we're going to run him down to the cath lab and, evaluate the graphs and see if he needs a pacemaker.
Thanks. Sure.
Stop loving you, no matter how close he got to Max.
Why did you let this go on, Renee?
The reason is right there. I was afraid that if your father found out the truth, he would end up in a hospital room or in a grave, and that's exactly what's happened. I didn't know anything about the rest of it, about Ben being our son. Bo, when I first found out that Max was a fraud, I wanted to kill him. And I tried. And I almost succeeded. I slapped him so hard his aneurysm burst. And then when he was recovering, I found out how much your father loves and needs Max. And so I let the lie get out of hand.
This wasn't just for Pa's sake.
No, you're right. It wasn't. I loved Max long before Ace did. He became like a son to me when I gave up ever knowing who my real son would be. So, I made a devil's pact to have the son that I already cared about be my son. And it was wrong of me to do. But the truth is out. It's over. I want to know now what happens to Max.
This mess actually started out as a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, who goes first?
Well, why don't we start with the bridegroom who brought down this house of cards? Manning, let's go. Can you believe this?
Well, we knew something was going to happen.
We knew... What exactly did we know, Nora?
I played the fifth.
Don't tell me you knew that Todd was gonna do those horrible things to Ben and Sky and practically everybody in that room.
Okay, relax, Sam. No, I didn't know they were all going to get sideswiped the way they did. All I knew was that Max was going to try his darndest to get Todd to turn on Blair.
Well, he certainly succeeded, didn't he?
He did. So, here we are, each hoping the other's client is guilty.
Yeah, well, I do know this. I know that Hank is not going to drop the charges against Sky unless he's got an airtight case against somebody else.
And all he has right now is
Todd's word.
Todd Manning. For the record, you stated earlier today that Blair Kramer shot Max Holden in the back. That the two of you conspired to cover it up. That subsequently, you hid the gun in Sky's bedroom.
Yeah, that falsification thing, that's pretty serious, eh?
Everything is serious here, Manning. There are no games. So just tell us exactly what happened.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, Manning. You set Sky up. You framed her for that shooting, and you sat back and you watched while she suffered in jail.
You didn't care what happened to Sky until you found out that she was your girlfriend's daughter.
Look, just repeat what you said at the wedding.
I'm not saying anything until I get prosecutorial immunity.
And you're not getting anything until you give us something solid.
Oh, come on. Look, I published a newspaper. I watched the 6 o'clock news. I know that you gave that Dr. Colin McSicko his free ride for kidnapping Nora. You decide you want the whole story or not.
But I didn't shoot anyone. I'm in. I know, I believe you. And you know what? They will too. What's so funny, Max?
Everything. Especially you.
You know, there's a bright spot for me is that you're in it up to here.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about me too much. I always seem to have an ace or two up my sleeve. But you, I think I shall savor forever in my memory. You telling me on and on about this great and undying love you and Todd have for each other. You two are so pathetically predictable. You did exactly what I expected.
What do you mean? We did exactly what you expected. What do you mean, Max? You know something I don't know?
What do I expect? Well, with you, Blair, I always expect the worst. You stabbed me in the back long before you shot me.
Oh, you don't know anything, Max.
Oh, I know this. I know that you will turn on anyone. Loyalty is very low on your list of priorities, Blair. I think Kelly's learned that.
Max, drop it.
And how about Todd? He does have his Achilles heel, doesn't he?
Max, you sure are acting like you know something that I don't. Did you have anything to do with Todd turning on me?
Holden, the DA's ready for you.
Did you lie again, Todd? What did he say, John?
Hey, I think you ought to let me do the talking, Blair.
No, I didn't shoot Max. Todd did.
Blair, would you just cool it, please?
No. Look, I didn't say anything because of Star. I didn't want her daddy to go to prison. That's why I didn't tell the police what happened. That's
Blair,
it.
Blair, that's enough.
Look, don't shut me up, Sam. I mean, it's Todd's word that I shot Max.
That's right. It's just his word. I can't arrest you for Max's shooting yet. But earlier, and just now, you confessed to the same criminal acts that Manning did. You are under arrest for falsification and hindering apprehension. Blair Kramer, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney and to have him present during questioning. If you cannot afford one, an attorney will be appointed to you by the court. Do you understand these rights as I've stated them to you?
I didn't want Asa to be my father. And I hated not telling Renee the truth, but I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to lose Sam and his family, my family. But you know all that. You know all my excuses.
No, they were not excuses. They were very legitimate concerns.
I was so sure that my way was the right way.
Well, it certainly wasn't your fault that all this came out in Todd's sideshow.
You know, my real father, the man who raised me, I mean, he was far from perfect, but I knew that he loved me. When I look into Asa's eyes, all I see is hatred.
He wasn't always like that.
You know what scares me more is that the more I tried to prove how different I was in him, the more ways I found that we were alike.
Actually, you're only alike in good ways.
A couple of days ago, I told Asa that if I had the chance, I'd let him die. I had that chance tonight, but I couldn't do it.
Of course not.
I hate the way I feel about him. I mean, it's ugly. It's just pure hate.
But you love Renee.
And I always will. Did you see the way she looked at me when I told her the truth? I'm afraid I've lost her.
So are you going to ask me to press charges against Max?
They may not hold up. You knew about the fraud for over a year, but you kept it a secret. Pa's the only one with a strong case. He's not in any condition to do anything about it, so Max just may well get away with what he did. Except that I'm not about to let that happen. Not as a cop, and not as my father's son.
Oh, does it make any difference that Asa loves Max?
Because he's had months to believe Max, and Max used all that time to just reel him in.
And that's my fault.
Pa may not be lying in that hospital bed right now if he hadn't worried himself sick that his make-believe son was a victim of some make-believe murder plot. And maybe I could have done something to stop that if I'd only known.
We all do what we think is best at the time. And if Max can help Asa now, I'd make a pact with that devil again.
I knew she wouldn't take it well. Sky doesn't take anything well.
Maybe I should have just left well enough alone.
You did. It was that Todd Manning who opened his big mouth.
No, I mean the entire search. I mean, why did I convince myself that a grown woman with a life of her own, like Sky, would want to share that life with a stranger that she'd never laid eyes on before, just because this woman tells her she's her mother?
Hold it. We are going to stop this should-have, could-have business right now.
Well, we have to face the facts. The Chandlers have been the only family she's known and wants to know.
Well, take my word for it. She's much better off not being part of that family.
I just wonder if she's told Adam about any of this. And I wonder how much he already knew.
I can't take you home with me right now, Sky, because I'm having some troubles of my own.
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
Well, it's nothing that I can't handle. I'm not even supposed to be out of the house. Stuart is covering for me. I can arrange to send some people that will assist your lawyer.
Teddy, I need you, not one of your flunkies. You know, if Haley were here, you'd have been here weeks ago, and you'd find a way to stay here right now.
No, please don't do that. I love you. My being here should prove to you that I do love you. If I didn't come before, it's because I trusted you to be able to take care of yourself. Sweetheart, I know you feel vulnerable right now. But you can cope with anything these people throw at you. Anything. Because you're tough and you're smart and you know what you have to do and you do it.
It's because I'm a Chandler. Because I'm my father's daughter. Right, Daddy?
Jen wouldn't have had a problem getting a fake ID, Will. Most kids in school have them. This is pretty good.
Can I see that? I don't care if everyone has them, okay? This is my little sister, and she is lying here in a hospital bed, unconscious, because some idiot decided to make her a fake ID. And when I find out who that is, I'm gonna kill him.
Ben, Renee loves you.
So she won't mind that I didn't tell her the truth.
She'll understand. She certainly forgave Max when she found out that he wasn't her son.
She cried on my shoulder when she found out, and she told me that she longed to know who her real son was. What she's going to remember is that I listened there, and I kept my mouth shut.
No, she's going to understand. She's going to realize that there was no way for you to acknowledge her as your mother without acknowledging Asa as your father, and that was not an option.
You know, when I first found out I was a Buchanan, I felt like I'd come down with some contagious disease. I even tried pulling away from you.
You tried, yeah. Anyway, the worst is over now. And it is definitely not going to affect us in any way, no matter what the fallout might be.
You know, I'd be lost without you, Blondie.
Well, you're always going to have me, because I would be very lost without you.
You are my daughter. And I expect you to take the bull by the horns, whether it's called Sky or Adam Chandler.
Even if the bull wants to gore me, leave me for dead?
Darling, you've done nothing wrong. You've got nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't, do I?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I was young and I was trusting. I mean, of course I believed them when they told me my baby had died. Why wouldn't I? And I really believe I'm doing the right thing as soon as I found out I had a daughter.
Darling, Sky's going to understand that someday.
Huh. Boy, you think that's really possible?
Well, Sky's human. Sometimes. And you know what you've got to do.
I think so. I have to do this alone.
I guess so.
I'm sorry you've had to go through this. And feel alone. You're not alone. And you're certainly not an afterthought.
An afterthought? Why would you say afterthought? I never used that word.
I love you.
You said that twice today. That's a record.
We should have had this discussion before.
What discussion should we have had before, Daddy?
Why don't you sit down? Please. I suppose I took the easy way out.
Me, I've always taken the hard way. That's how I got in this mess in the first place. And I know you're worried about me getting back home and being on my best behavior, but I really
Sweetheart, listen to me.
Oh, I
Listen
am.
to me,
I am,
please.
Daddy. I'm reading between the lines. I know you're worried about me getting back home, and I intend to patch things up with everyone in the family. I really...
Will you give
I
me
do.
a chance, please? Please. I love you.
It makes 3.
It's true. You're my daughter, and I love you.
So, what you're saying is that there's no truth to what Ray Cummings is talking about.
Well, that's not exactly what I'm saying. You are my daughter. You're just not my biological daughter.
Well, her condition's improved.
But she still hasn't come to?
She may be out a while longer, but I'm very encouraged. She's out of the woods.
Good, good. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, well, check in on her later.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, now I can read her the riot act once she wakes up.
Oh, Larry, may I come with him?
Why don't you wait here, Renee? I'll let you know what's happening.
Larry, thank you. Thank you for everything.
Well, we still have 2 versions as to who shot Max. First one is Blair's the shooter and Todd covering it up, and Todd pulling the trigger and Blair covering. Oh, and you're going to love this. Manning wants full immunity before he goes on record. So I'm charging them with everything but the shooting right now.
Lock them up next to each other. Maybe a little jail time will convince Manning to give us a formal statement.
Good idea. Manning, Miss Kramer, let's go. Come on.
Listen, you hang in there, all right? I want to make sure it's all right.
Bo, how is he? I really do love him like a father.
You love him, Max? You separated him from his real family. You encourage this paranoia that he has about Ben and Sam. But now, now I understand why.
I tried to keep him from going after Ben. I tried to keep him from cutting you and Clint out of his will.
You weren't too successful on either count, though, were you? You lied to him. You manipulated him. You put him in that hospital bed. Max, don't you ever tell me how much you love him. Holden, you're not free to go. We have questions for you, so wait in the interrogation room. And if you know what's good for you, you'll cooperate.
How's your father, Bill?
He's hanging in there. You knew, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What is it? What do you know?
I know just as much about this as you do.
No, that is a wrong answer. A very wrong answer. You know more, a lot more. Max, you were the one that invited me and the police to this wedding. You knew something big was going to go down. It was like you knew that Todd was going to turn on Blair. How did you know that? Unless, of course, you made it happen, which was... Max, fess up. What did you do?
Are you my lawyer?
I'm your friend, who happens to be a lawyer. What did you do?
You should be thanking me.
Ah.
What I did to free Sky, your client.
Save the PR for the press conference. Max Holden doesn't do anything unless it benefits Max Holden. So what did you do?
I just hit Todd Manning where it hurts him the most. In his jealous bone.
Go on.
Somehow Todd got the idea in his head that Blair and I still had something going on. In fact, he's sure he saw us in bed together last night.
Todd thinks that Blair slept with you the night before his wedding. And what would make him think something like that? Oh, no. Oh, don't tell me. Do let me guess. You staged some dramatic vignette to make it look that way. Am I warm? Oh, my God. You got Todd to believe that Blair slept with you the night before her wedding so that he would turn on her.
Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Oh, but Max, don't you see? Don't you get it? If Todd suspects that this is a setup perpetrated by you, he's going to take back his statement that he made about Blair. And since that's the only thing the cops have to go on, Sky's going to end up back where she was.
Then we have to make sure he never finds out.